In the Declaration of Sarajevo, the Gaza Tribunal declares our collective moral outrage at the continuing genocide in Palestine, and our solidarity with the people of Palestine, our commitment to working with partners across global civil society to end the genocide and to ensure accountability for perpetrators and enablers, redress for victims and survivors, the building of a more just international order, and a free Palestine. In the Declaration, we call out and condemn the myriad crimes of the Israeli regime. We demand an immediate end to those crimes, including the occupation, the siege, the apartheid, and the genocide, and freedom for Palestinian prisoners. We defend UNRWA and other humanitarian actors on the ground and demand accountability for the attacks on them. We call on all governments and on regional and international organisations to act, and we denounce those who have been complicit, from states to media corporations and others. In the Declaration, we denounce the wave of persecution and crackdowns on human rights defenders, peace activists, students, academics, workers, professionals. And we honour those who stand up, who, despite this persecution, have had the courage and moral convictions to stand up and speak out. And we reject the unjust tactic of smearing as anti-Semites or supporters of terrorism all those who dare to speak up against the Israeli regime. We express our conviction that the struggles against all forms of racism, bigotry, and discrimination necessarily includes the equal rejection of all forms of Islamophobia, anti-Arab and anti-Palestinian racism, anti-Semitism, Zionism, apartheid and settler colonialism, and we commit to fighting all such scourges. We also reject the destructive ideology of Zionism as the official state ideology of the Israeli regime, of the forces that colonized Palestine and established the Israeli state on its ruins, and of pro-Israel organizations and their proxies today. Instead, the Declaration insists, in the words of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, and that there are no exceptions to this rule. The Tribunal calls in the Declaration for decolonization across the land and an end to the ethno-supremacist order and the replacement of Zionism with a dispensation founded on equal human rights for Christians, Muslims, Jews, and others. Further in the Declaration, we honour the courageous resistance and resilience of the Palestinian people and the movement of millions standing in solidarity with them. We reaffirm the right of the Palestinian people to resist in accordance with international law. We recall that the Palestinian right to self-determination is jus cogens and erga omnes and is non-negotiable and axiomatic. We respect Palestinian aspirations and recognise full Palestinian agency and leadership over all the decisions affecting their lives. In the text, we also express our grave concern at the state and direction of international relations, international politics, and international institutions, their failings and the attacks on those international institutions that have challenged genocide and apartheid in Palestine. We demand immediate action to isolate, contain, and hold accountable the Israeli regime through universal boycott, divestment, sanctions, a military embargo, suspension from international organisations, and the prosecution of its perpetrators, individual criminal accountability for all those implicated in war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide, gross violations of human rights or complicity. We applaud the International Court of Justice for its ongoing historic genocide case against the Israeli regime and for its landmark advisory opinions, and South Africa for bringing the genocide case to the ICJ. And we call for expediting the case of the ICC against Israeli perpetrators, for state parties to meet their obligations to arrest them and for the US to cease its persecution of the court. And we call for full implementation of the pronouncements of the two courts in The Hague and the historic UNGA resolution of September 2024. We also express our admiration for the independent special procedures of the UN Human Rights Council, for their expert contributions and for their strong and principled voices in holding the Israeli regime to account and defending the human rights of the Palestinian people, as well as for UN agencies that have acted to defend the rights of the Palestinian people, foremost among them UNRWA. Finally, in the Declaration of Sarajevo, we warn that the world is approaching a dangerous precipice, the front edge of which is in Palestine, and that both key international organizations and most countries of the world have failed in defending the human rights of the Palestinian people and in responding to the Israeli regime's genocide in Palestine. And we conclude the declaration by declaring, and I quote, "The challenge of justice now falls to the people of conscience everywhere, to civil society and to social movements, to all of us." As such, our work in the coming months will be dedicated to meeting this challenge. Palestinian lives are at stake. The international moral and legal order is at stake. We must not fail. We will not relent. And there ends the declaration. Thank you. I'm now going to open the press conference. We have members of the Steering Committee of the Gaza Tribunal before you. Could you please direct your questions through me to the panel?